If you love what we do, then please consider supporting CryptFail on Patreon. Your support helps us grow and to create more content more often. And now, on with the show.
I'm probably on. So Kelle is sitting in her office because she has far too much paperwork to do when she's not doing anything else. So she is looking through some different files. Perhaps she's looking through Cadet Samson's files. And she will answer it.
Please go to Bay 7 on Narandra Station. Thank you.
She will pause. She will look down at the pile of files on the desk. Decide she's had enough paperwork anyway. Stand up and decide to go find out what is in Bay 7.
So you move across the station, and it's pretty busy. There's a few ships that are now in dock, and a mixture of freighters and different cultures. There's 2 Klingon ships, a transport and the Nightmare, and a couple of Federation ships are also docked. It looks like a supply one, and another, an Oberth class, is a research vessel. So it's going to be heading into the Shackleton Expanse somewhere.
Okay.
No one's really paying much attention to you, like any more than anyone else is. You are starting to get a reputation, like the ship. You're one of the more known ships now in the Shackleton area.
Hopefully only for good things. So she will just continue walking. She's not really in a hurry, I guess, so she'll take her time and look around. She wasn't told it was urgent, and she doesn't know what it is, so sort of casually walk to Bay 7.
And you come to it says Bay 7. It's kind of faded, and there's a big door, about 8 foot wide, designed for cargo.
Great.
And inside is dark, except for a single circle of light in the center of the room, about 50 feet away. There's people walking around outside.
Okay, she's gonna pause, and she's to herself going to comment, well, this seems rather ominous. But she's not particularly worried. It's more of an amused comment, and she will stride forward into the circle of light.
In front of her, Condor walks into the light. In his left hand, there is about 8 inches by 6 inches. There's a black case, not much bigger than the cassette that Kelle had retrieved.
Yeah.
He walks up to her. He places the tips of his right hand just under her collarbone, and then, quite hard, slaps the rest of his hand down against her upper chest area, which pushes her back a couple of feet, and she feels a very sharp pain in her chest.
All right. She's just sort of looking stunned.
And he tends to be jovial to a degree for a Klingon, but he doesn't seem very jovial this time. You can thank Bredor. The High Council rarely awards anything to those outside the Empire.
I see. And she's just a little bit stunned and sort of gone very quickly from, okay, I am being injured, to, okay, this is a good thing. Yeah, so after the sort of initial shock, because she wasn't expecting this at all, looking down, she is surprised to see the emblem of the Klingon Empire, and hearing what he said, she's sort of, okay, we're putting this all together, this is what this means, and I see, I am honored. I did not expect any such thing.
Your service to the Empire is being recognized. However, the High Council will never speak of the actual event surrounding it.
I understand, nobody will. They're not alone in that.
Do not remove the blood. It is unique to your metal now.
I will not.
And he hands over the black case. And he says, it is a requirement for ascension to a house. And he sort of smirks at you a bit, and then says, through marriage, and walks through the door.
So, she'll just sort of stand there stunned for a moment, staring after him, and then, once she regains her composure, she will sort of gingerly remove the metal and place it into the case that she was given, and head back to the Pegasus. Lieutenant Tuan speaking?
Yes, we have a Cadet Samson in your office. He came in, said that you had arranged when he had time to come and see you.
Yes. Yes, of course. I am on my way.
Very good. We'll tell him to wait then.
Thank you.
Medbay out.
And Kelle will look slightly guilty, as she entirely forgot. She will kind of look down at her uniform, which is slightly more bloody than it normally is, thanks to the 2 small holes where the metal was attached to her. Realize she doesn't have time to change and head back to her office.
And the medbay is reasonably quiet at the moment. And your office, which is off to the one side, you can see Cadet Samson is sitting in there, and your 2 nurses are outside going through different tests and catching up on files and stuff.
And Kelle will walk into the office, close the door, and say, Cadet Samson, thank you for waiting.
I don't really think that thanks worthy, but... Are you okay?
Oh, yes, I am entirely fine. Thank you. It is nothing to worry about.
I was gonna say the medbay's right up there.
Yes, it is. It's nothing to worry about. Is he already sitting down?
Yes.
Okay, then she's going to go have a seat behind her desk and say, I believe apologies are in order. Unfortunately, being stationed where we are, communication can sometimes take a little longer to reach us than we would like, and it wasn't until after you had already completed the Kobayashi Maru that we received word that you were perhaps meant to hold off on doing so for a while.
It's okay. I mean, I understand. How many, years are we away from, most civilization?
We are rather out of the way. I am a little bit concerned. How are you doing?
You can hear him, start to tap the floor with his foot. Fine.
Fine, I see. Well, it would be entirely expected for you to have been stressed or upset by the test that, regrettably, you completed when you should not have. It's not an issue if it has caused you any distress. It's just something we would like to know about.
No, I mean, who isn't stressed out by that?
I agree. There's no test I've ever heard of that didn't cause some amount of stress. But beyond simple test-taking stress, there is the consideration that it could have affected you specifically.
I mean, maybe a little, but I'll be fine. He starts to kind of daze off. Not daze off, but look away.
I see. Well, it wasn't only to apologize that I asked you to meet with me. We also need to have a discussion about your new assignment.
Which is?
Well, while I understand it's not quite the usual thing, you will not be reporting back to your training ship to carry out the rest of your space practical. You are going to be remaining here on the Pegasus.
That seems strange.
I admit it isn't exactly usual. How does that sound to you?
Fine.
Fine?
Yeah.
I am glad to hear it. And since I understand that you are focusing on the medical side, you will be working here.
Somewhere so far out, you have a pretty nice medical bay.
Well, I can tell you it's certainly nicer than we started with. The Pegasus has come a long way. Do you have any concerns about remaining on the Pegasus?
No?
No?
I mean, only one thing is, will this put me behind at all?
No, I don't believe so. She starts flipping through his file, which is on her desk, and from what it looks like, you've completed most of your theory. What you have left to do, you can easily do here, and quite honestly, I imagine you'll get a lot of practical experience in our medbay.
It is both assuring and worrying.
Well, in the Shackleton Expanse, you come to expect the unexpected, and we've certainly had a lot of unexpected incidents, let's say. Now, do you have any questions? No. All right. Now, as you'll be working here, I am probably going to schedule more regular interviews every once in a while just to see how you're progressing, and I do hope at some point perhaps you will feel more comfortable about how things may or may not have affected you. There's no rush.
I don't know if these checkups are really necessary, but okay.
Oh, they absolutely are if you're going to be working in my medbay. Please don't misunderstand. You're not the only one who needs to report to me for checkups, as you put it. This is a stressful posting, and it's important to always have a good idea of how the crew is handling things.
Glance at that door. I can assure you, I'm fine.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you're anxious to get going.
He will get up and leave.
And Kelle will make some notes on his file.
The Voyages of the U.S.S. Pegasus utilizes the excellent official rules Star Trek Adventures released by Mephidius Games. Featuring Emily as Lieutenant Kelle, Shadow as Lieutenant Aura, Raven Insane as Commander Hunt, SPG as Cadet Samson, and Ghost as the GM. Many of the sounds come from Sirenscape, an excellent app for bringing more life to your gaming table. You can find us at critfail.com.